So thank you very much. So we're going to start the presentation on the Korean market and hydrogen. So I will leave the floor to Mr. Che from the Ministry of Environment of Korea.
Bonjour. Good afternoon. There are lots of people. I do not expect this is before start, I'd like to point for your understanding language. I'd like to present in English, not in Korea, to save interpreting time. As you know, the climate change and the carbon neutrality became a new rule in global economy, and hydrogen is essential to achieve net zero. In fact, hydrogen mobility is the most visible area in the hydrogen economy, because the most project belongs to future, but hydrogen mobility belongs to present, at least in Korea. I'm not sure in France. To this end, I would like to share our general policies on the hydrogen mobility. First one I would like to share is the first hydrogen economy blueprint, which is released last November. By hydrogen law, which is activated last year, hydrogen economy blueprint should be established by government. There are 4 strategies and 15 tasks. The first one is the becoming leader in producing clean hydrogen. Second, build seamless infrastructure for hydrogen. Third, utilize hydrogen in all sectors and in everyday life. Fourth, strengthen industry ecosystem foundation for hydrogen economy. And hydrogen mobility included in second and third strategy. So this is some milestone set for the hydrogen economy blueprint. And you could find the important steps regarding hydrogen mobility in there. So second strategy includes building hydrogen station as one of the main projects, one of the 3 main projects. And the third strategy also includes leading the hydrogen mobility market as one of 3 main projects. Before the present the hydrogen mobility policies, I would like to share current status on hydrogen mobility. As you have seen a previous slide, Korean government is making efforts to spread hydrogen mobility as a key policy for hydrogen economy and carbon neutrality. We set the target for more than 14 million cars and 1,012 stations by 2040. In reality, more than 22,000 cars are registered by end of April, which is a little bit lag behind the target. So more specifically, most of hydrogen cars are Nexo, passengers car produced by Hyundai, and also about 150 buses and 5 heavy trucks in running on the road. And we established 170 hydrogen chargers by end of 2021. Now we're working on the build 140 more. In total, 310 hydrogen chargers by end of this year. This is our commercial vehicle lineup by Hyundai Motors. So I would like to share our policies. First, the conditions for policies is not easy compared to the EV. EV has the variety model in passenger's car, but in Korea, Nexo is the only model of hydrogen car. And the operating cost of hydrogen car is much bigger than EVs, around twice of EVs. So we built more than 170 stations. Station is not enough for spreading hydrogen cars. For commercial vehicles such as buses and heavy truck, has better condition, we think. Without hydrogen mobility car neutral, without hydrogen, carbon neutrality of a commercial car could not be achieved. And environmental point of view, hydrogen buses and trucks have more impact, around 30 times contribution for CO2 emissions. So this year we have planned to start to produce high-flow hydrogen buses and hydrogen heavy trucks. But it is the early stage, so we need initial demand by government side. So our key policies on hydrogen mobility is subsidy for purchasing cars. For Nexo, central government and local government subsidize around 3,000 euros, which covers half of the car price. For bus and truck, government subsidize more than the passenger's car to make equal level compared to diesel car. We also have a variety of policy support for hydrogen car, such as the exempting exchange tax for bus and giving subsidies for hydrogen fuels. Recently, we focus on the buses and trucks because it has lots of potential for using hydrogen. So especially for transporting the buses to the hydrogen, the local government law is very important because they have powerful policies on local transportation. So we would like to make momentum for transforming to the hydrogen buses by signing MOUs. So we make the 3 MOUs. We show just 2 of these. So we have the Busan, Ulsan, Gyeongnam megacity, Pyeongtaek, and Incheon, and it makes good signal for direction of the transforming. This is the policy on the hydrogen car, and this is the policies on station. So building a station is a prerequisite for this hydrogen vehicles dissemination. So Ministry of Environment speed up the building charging station, so hydrogen vehicle users can use the car without the inconvenience. So the policy conditions. Due to the great effort of our government, hydrogen station became a stable demand for the hydrogen and testbed for various hydrogen economy business model, such as the liquefied hydrogen and the green hydrogen, such as that. But still, there is safety concern of local residents. So our goal is building 310 hydrogen charger by end of this year, which is very challenging. Last year, we established the strategic space arranged plan for hydrogen station, and it will be updated for matching, spreading the commercial vehicles such as the buses and the trucks. The key policies on hydrogen station is subsidy supporting for the project for the hydrogen station. Ministry of Environment covers from 50 to 70% of the whole cost, so it will be helpful to the enterprise. One other very important policy is the one-stop licensing service. There are lots of regulation. More than 20 laws regulate the project for the hydrogen station. So the Ministry of Environment has the one-stop service and make easier to get the license. And because of the hydrogen mobility is just in early stage, so many stations is running in deficit. So government temporarily support their cost by 2025, which year expect to cut down the price of hydrogen. so that many enterprises could join the project without the risk. Also, we try to establish various forms of the stations, such as the mobile form of the hydrogen station or the on-site station, to promote various business models of hydrogen economy. So lastly, the future direction for the policies. So Mr. Environment tried to strengthen the linkage between the carbon neutrality and hydrogen mobility. So we make the green hydrogen station. We make models such as the hydropower. By hydropower, we make the green hydrogen. And the other project is the biogas, bioenergy project, which is make the green hydrogen through the biogas. And we would like to make the carbon neutral, make the present, not the future. We built mega station, the landmark project for transporting to the emission-free cars, which combines the large-scale EV chargers and the hydrogen car charging system and the cultural complex. So we can have restaurant and media to promote the EV and the hydrogen cars. So it will be established in Yongsan, where is the near from the place of the new presidential office, and the finished project by end of this year. It could be promote the hydrogen cars need, and they have the vision for the carbon neutrality. Okay, thank you for listening. But yeah, merci beaucoup.
So now I would like to introduce Mr. Won Jin Kim from company DA. You have 7 minutes.
Okay. Nice to meet you. My name is Won Jin Kim. I'm from Korea. Today I will introduce about my company there. This one is the contest. Firstly, I just introduced hydrogen roadmap in Korea very shortly. Actually, the Korea government announced in 2019 hydrogen roadmap with a goal of the 2040. By the 2040, we plan to supply the 6.2 billion hydrogen vehicle and then 1,200 unit hydrogen refueling station. Yeah. You can see the Korean hydrogen liquefaction the plant. Actually, the Incheon project is the biggest liquefaction plant in the world. Yeah. Now I introduce my company. My company has two kinds of the parts. One part is the hydrogen, the other part is the hydraulic. Recently, hydrogen field business is gradually increasing and then becoming more important. In the hydrogen field, our company is making hydrogen-related test equipment, such as the cycling test, leakage test, like that. Our company was designed as a hydrogen specialized company by Korean government. In 2021, hydrogen specialized companies are designed according to the hydrogen law in Korea. Currently, only about 30 companies are designed. Our company is one of the hydrogen specialized company. We have four kinds of patent. One is the burst test, and the other one is proof test. The third is cycling test. The last one is the leakage test. And I show you our supplier. This company list is our major company. supplied by our company. You can see the Hyundai or the Lotte Chemical like that. Usually just domestic company. This one is the only one testing the facilities in Korea. In Korea, there is the hydrogen cylinder and component testing center designed by Korean government. This is Energy Safety Empirical Research Center. Hydrogen vehicle and fueling stations for the cylinder and the component must be tested by these test facilities. We just provide those kinds of test equipment to this center. Now I introduce the test equipment. This one is cylinder test equipment. It is the burst test and cycling test and extreme temperature cycling test. All equipments are complying with the international standard, such as the GTR, ECR 134, like that. And we are also making equipment as well, such as the permanent test, like that. Now I show you the component test equipment. We also have those kinds of test equipment we just produce and then supply to the company. Lastly, I just introduced about our liquefier, the hydrogen liquefier. Our company is developing not only gaseous test equipment, but also liquid hydrogen test equipment. It is still under the developing, but prototype has recently just been developed, and it is now being demonstrated. Using this equipment, we have a plan to develop this equipment that can test liquid hydrogen valves and parts by 2022. Our company is also supplying excellent product to the Korean market from the global partners. These companies are our global partners list. We are distributing and after-sales service for the excellent overseas products in Korea. If you any company to make a good relationship with us, please contact us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now I would like to invite Mr. Song Kim from J Philos. Oh, sorry.
I have to prepare my. Hi, my name is Sang Kim. I'm a managing director of the company, and I have a time limitation. It's pushing me like I have to finish by 7 minutes. So, but most of Korea companies are. We have a booth on the Korea Pavilion. So today I would like to introduce who we are. If you are interested, please visit Korea Pavilion so that I can explain to you more in detail. Today I will make a small, just brief introduction and what is our solution in terms of P2G and as our reference, not only Korea or Europe, and conclusion appendix. The company located like Yongin City is 30 minutes from Seoul. Our shareholders, our CEO is a major shareholder, and POSCO is one of our shareholders of the company. The company started with 2009, and the year 2017 we have a momentum that everybody was talking about hydrogen, green hydrogen, blue hydrogen, but nobody has ever seen physically the green hydrogen. So the government make a tender as a pilot project, and we apply and we make it a 500 kilowatt of the green hydrogen. I will get into this a little bit more detail later on. This is our mission, and right now we are around 10 million euro, 10 million euros turnover. By the year 2025, around over 200 million euro. And the year after next year, which is 2024, we're planning to auto IPO in Korea Stock Exchange market. Our differentiation of our source, we are power, P2G means power to gas. We are system integrator. In other way, we are supplying the production system of green hydrogen as a total package solution provider. And P2G, we have, it says off-grid, but of course on-grid is like, level is a plug and play, very easy. And we supply power conversion system. In case of grid connection, through the power conversion system, which we develop and supply to the customer, we'll make it a support of the grid. Means that if you are talking about supporting a grid, you need to have a stable of the voltage and frequency. If it is not supported by PCS, it will be go up and down. So it will make a disaster in your network. So we also develop, supply PCS, power conversion system, plus power management system, which cover all the supply of our scope. Now, hydrogen part, we supply electrolyzers and hydrogen buffer. We also supply compressor and high pressure storage. In Europe, most of our competitors are electrolyzer company. But however, even huge company in Germany, Siemens, they don't supply compressor high pressure storage because they don't want to take a risk. And the hydrogen is very explosive. When you have a fire, it fires over there. But we have our own higher attention of the safety issues. So we supply all the scope of the P2G system, and we guarantee you about the safety. And this is a direct renewable solutions. Our capacity of the electrolyzers, let's say in case of 1 megawatt project, we supply 500 kilowatt of electrolyzers, and another 500 kilowatt equivalent to NAS battery, which we call power buffer, so that you can produce the green hydrogen even during the nighttime. So we call ourselves, we are 24-hour operation available based on our system. This is just comparison table between the electrolyzers and Hyvolution network. If you want this presentation, please visit our booth. I am able to share with you. This is our power management systems through local controllers, PCS electrolyzer buffer compressors. Through the local control, we send a log data through the power management system, and we control the systems in the behind. And for the safety devices, we supply leak flame detectors and impurity analysis in order to prevent from any explosions. Our reference, we are, as I mentioned to you earlier, we are the first actual reference in Korea. The project has been finished. Jeju Island, 500 kilowatt. We are, after this 500 kilowatt, government is implementing a lot of projects these days in nationwide in Korea. We're doing 3 megawatt of the projects. And we have on Korea Research Institute of Ship to P2G system. We make it green hydrogen through the wave energy from the seawater offshore. And we have an ongoing reference in Borkum's Island in Germany with 2 megawatt projects. We have a Poland project with a 1.2 megawatt project. But this project has been a little delayed because during the war between the Ukraine and Russia, So it's postponed to 2 or 3 months. But basically, this is a 100% PV renewable energy that we convert to the green hydrogen. Conclusion is, as you can see, our GFLO specialize both electric, because we start with power conversion systems, and hydrogen section as a system integrator. And versatility and stability, flexibility, and safety. And just remind you that, again, for your information, we are located under Korea Pavilion. If you want to hear more about our P2G solutions of the GFLOs, we welcome you, and we would like to happy to introduce our solution more in detail. Thank you.
Just in time. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kim. So now I invite Mr. Jong-Kyu Lee, CEO of Fsmt.
So my name is Jong-Kyu Lee, who is the CEO of Fsmt. So Fsmt stands for Fuel Cell Millennium Technology. So our business area is Fuel Cell MEA. MEA stands for Membrane Electrode Assembly and Fuel Cell Stack, as well as electrolysis MEA. Last year, we have been selected as a baby unicorn company from Korea government. Yeah. We finance support, and then recently we are starting a national project for developing electrolysis cell, especially anion exchange membrane electrolysis cell type. So this is my background. So I have been working for Hyundai Motor Company for project like MEA development for next fuel cell vehicle. So after I developed, I involved in Burman fuel cell. So for Burman, so I was involved in stationary application. So our business is fuel cell area, as well as electrolysis. So this is our business area. So in the fuel cell car, there's a fuel cell system. So key component is fuel cell stack. Fuel cell stack composed of multiple of MEA and bipolar plate. So this is our business area. So main application is stationary and transport, mobility application. In case of a stationary application, we are using natural gas. So in the fuel cell system, there is a reformer to extract hydrogen from natural gas. So we have a design technology to have tolerance for a mixture of hydrogen. And in case of a mobility application, fuel is a hydrogen fuel cell, hydrogen, and then application is vehicle and marine, construction equipment, and aerospace. So MEA looks like electrode and membrane. So mainly it composed of anode and cathode and membrane in the middle. And the stack composed of MEA and bipolar plates. Yeah. So one cell composed of two bipolar plates and then MEA in the middle. So if you have 1 kilowatt fuel cell stack, it composed of around 400 MEA required. So it's a basic principle of fuel cell. So MEA is composed of anode and cathode. In the anode, hydrogen oxidized and they produce hydrogen and electricity. So hydrogen transport to the cathode take oxygen reduction to produce pure water. So MEA and stack is like a key component of a fuel cell system to influence like fuel cell performance and durability. So it's a product type in case of MEA. So we can produce like a roll type. CCM means like a catalyst coated membrane. Also sheet type, 5 layer, 7 layer. The final form is like a 7 layer. So 2 anode and cathode and the membrane in the middle and then gas diffusion layer on both sides. That's the 7 layer. So this is like electrode quality controls because catalyst is nano-sized material, so it tends to agglomerate. So it's very important here to have very good dispersion technology. So electrode morphology and uniform quality is very important here to have like a good fuel cell performance and durability. This is the overall process of MEA fabrication. So we fabricate electrode in-house and then assemble together with membrane in order to make MEA product. In case of stack business, we have a design technology. And then in Korea, there are network in order to make bipolar plate. So if we have like a bipolar plate design, and then fabricate using our industry partner. This is like electrolysis cell. So we are developing AEM, anion exchange membrane electrolysis cell through the like national R&D project. So it's like under R&D stage. But next year, we are planning to produce like a prototype MEA product, with like a large scale up to like 1,000 square centimeter. So this is like a revenue forecast. So by entering domestic market fuel cell in Korea, and then we are expanding overseas to mobility application and electrolysis market. So next year, we are planning to IPO in Kostak listing. So we signed the IPO organizer NSG investment last year. So we have been successful like funding, and then our mass production capacity is about like 0.2 million sheet per year. And then next year, by series funding, we are increasing production capacity up to 100 million. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. So now we are going to welcome Mr. Oh Kyung Kwon from Daeyoung. Mr. Kwon will speak in Korean, but we have a translator, so no problem.
안녕하세요. 저는 대한 ST의 권호경입니다.
Good afternoon. Nice to meet you all. My name is Kwon Oh-kyung from Daeyeon ST.
지금부터 대한 ST에 대한 회사 소개드리도록 하겠습니다.
I'll make a brief presentation of my company.
대한 ST는 1999년 설립되었고 지금 현재 직원은 약 600명, 그리고 매출액은 작년 기준 약 2천억을 달성했습니다. 본사는 화성에 위치하고 있습니다.
Daeyeon ST was founded in 1999. The total overhead is 600 people, and last year our turnover was 200 billion won, and the headquarters are located in Hwaseong, Korea.
이 부분은 저희 대한 ST의 슬로건으로 성실, 진실, 절실이라는 슬로건 아래 모든 직원이 일하고 있다고 보시면 될 것 같습니다.
So these are the three keywords to present the philosophy of the company: sincerity, integrity, and keenness.
연역으로는 1999년 설립되어 현재까지 약 23년간 사업을 영위하고 있습니다.
As I've mentioned, the company was founded in 1999, so we have been in business for 23 years.
저희 대한 ST의 조직도는 앞에 보시는 바와 같습니다.
This is the organigram of the company.
다음으로 대한 ST의 매출액에 대해 설명드리겠습니다. 저희는 2019년 최고 매출을 달성하였고 그 이후에는 약간 감소된 매출로 올해는 2,400억을 목표로 하고 있습니다.
So this shows the evolution of the turnover of the company. The peak was reached in 2019, which fell a little bit during the following years. But we are targeting 240 billion won this year.
대한 ST는 국내에서 가장 큰 캐파를 보유하고 있는 코팅 회사로 모든 방식의 코팅을 구현할 수 있는 설비를 보유하고 있습니다.
Daeyeon ST is the biggest coating company in Korea and is equipped with all the facilities and machines to carry out all sorts of coating in the market.
코팅뿐만 아니라 고객들의 니즈에 맞게 가공까지 할 수 있는 모든 가공 설비, 커팅 설비까지 보유하고 있습니다.
And also, we don't just stop at coating. We can provide work according to the customer specifications and treat the product that we have coated.
또한 다양한 기업들의 신뢰성 기준에 부합하기 위해 내부적으로 신제품 기술 개발을 위한 R&D 장비 또한 국내에서 가장 많이 보유하고 있습니다.
We are also the company who has the biggest number of R&D equipments and machines because we strive to provide the best quality which adapt to the standards of the customers.
품질 관리 부분에서는 ISO, UL 뿐만 아니라 자체의 품질 관리 시스템을 통해서 체계적으로 관리하고 있습니다.
And the quality is thoroughly managed with, among others, the ISO certifications and standards, the UL certification and standards, and also our own certification and standards.
그리고 파트너사의 현황으로는 국내에서는 삼성, LG, 글로벌로는 파나소닉, 엠코, 소니, 3M까지 파트너십을 형성하고 있고 지속적으로 다양한 기업과의 교류를 진행하고 있습니다.
So this page shows the partners of the company. You can notice from Korea, Samsung or LG, and also in the international market, Panasonic, Sanyo, Sony, or 3M.
국내 현황으로는 화성에 본사를 포함한 5개의 공장을 가지고 있고 국내 오창 공장 그리고 구미 사업소를 보유하고 있습니다.
these are our locations in Korea. So in Hwaseong, we have the headquarters and also 5 factories. We also have a factory in Ochang and a branch in Gumi.
글로벌 현황으로는 베트남의 생산 기지 4공장을 보유하고 있고 그리고 중국, 말레이시아, 미국 법인을 보유하고 있습니다.
We are also present in the international arena. So we have 4 locations in Vietnam and 4 factories in Vietnam, and also we have branches in China, Malaysia, and the US.
그리고 지금 저희가 전시에 참가하게 된 거는 수소 누설 감지 센서를 개발하게 돼서 참가하게 됐는데 지금 시간 관계상 제품에 대한 설명을 드릴 수는 없어가지고 지금 저희 부스로 오시면 자세한 제품에 대한 설명을 드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
So we are present in this year's fair with a new product, which is a sensor to detect the hydrogen leakage. So I don't have the material time to present the details of our new product, but please do come to see us in the booth, and I'll provide you with detailed explanation and presentations.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you very much.
So now we are going to come to the more official part. So I would like to invite Mr. Man Ki-jong, CEO and President of KAMA, Korea Automobile Manufacturer Association. You press here to go forward. Yes, green, yes. Backward. Yeah.
Because I have enough time, I will explain shortly. Let me present hydrogen market and industry of Korea, status and future. I think you can find business opportunity or business cooperation opportunity if you listen to carefully this presentation, I think. Actually, in Korea, concerning hydrogen supply, as of now, about only 0.2 million tons are supplied in domestic market. Actually, we produce about 1.9 million ton, but most of the production are self-consumed. So the rest, in the market, only 0.2 million tons are available right now. By the way, in 2030, about 3.9 million tons could be available in our market, except self-consumption. I think in 3.9 million tons, about 50% 50% you should import from abroad. Domestic production could be only 30%. And in 2050, we supply volume could be 27.9 million tons, as you see in the table. By the way, 80% of supply, we have to depend on importation. Domestic production could be only 19%. So, because we are so short of renewable energy source, Korea should be depend on importation. Concerning distribution, as of now, we depend on gas tube trailer operation mainly. But in 2030 and in 2050, liquid hydrogen tank or other transportation system could be realized, I think. This report depends on, I gained this information according to the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy of Korea. And concerning utilization of hydrogen, currently hydrogen demand, as you see, is just 0.2 million tons until between among 0.2 million. Most of consumption is consumed by power generation. By the way, in 2030, most of volume is going to be consumed by industrial and power generation sector. Only about 80% of 5% of consumption provient the automobile mobility sector. Concerning passenger car, now in Korea, 21,000 volume are sold in Korean market. In 2030, about 450,000 passenger cars are provided in domestic market, and in 2050, about very huge passenger cars are going to supply in Korean market. Concerning recent movement of a Korean company, as you see in the table, many Korean companies, including SK, Hyundai, POSCO, Hanwha, and Hyosung, announced huge large-scale investment plans in the sector, automobile, steel making, and petrochemical sector, etc. So you can find business opportunity with them, or you can find cooperation opportunity also. I would like to evaluate the status of Korean hydrogen market right now. First of all, concerning production and storage distribution, now annual domestic byproduct hydrogen production is about, as I explained to you, just 1.9 million ton. Among them, most of production are self-consumed, and only 1.2 million ton are available in the market. Concerning blue hydrogen, as you know, CCS is needed, but we are lack of R&D pilot project. So some companies, including SK ENS, are interested in producing blue hydrogen. As far as I know, La France is advanced in this kind of technology, so you can find any opportunity to collaborate with Korean company. Concerning green hydrogen, technology is retarded in Korea. Only a few companies participating as a startup, but still in early stage of business model. Some company are participating in this show. You can find in Korea Pavilion. Concerning hydrogen storage and distribution, I will explain. Concerning liquid hydrogen, as you know, liquid hydrogen can store and transport 800 times more compared with the gas. And as far as I know, technology is advanced in the US, Germany, and France. We are a little retarded in Korea, so you can find also big opportunity, maybe business opportunity with Korean company. And hydrogen carrier, concerning hydrogen carrier, in Korea, there are under development by some shipping company. As you know, Japan Kawasaki Heavy Industry in 2019 they built Sushi Frontier or liquefied hydrogen carrier. By the way, the Korean shipbuilders are accelerating building hydrogen carrier. Maybe in 2030, the first Korean carrier could be launched, we anticipate. And as you know, maybe hydrogen vehicles and fuel cell are developing in Korea as a world level. Already 21,000 units of hydrogen vehicles supplied as of now, and 16,000 hydrogen trucks will be exported to Switzerland by 2025, and export of first hydrogen fuel cell system to Switzerland also. And hydrogen-based steelmaking and other fields, they are going to concentrate on R&D. POSCO, as you maybe know, POSCO selected the hydrogen industry as a long-term growth engine and is developing technology with a goal of completion by 2040 with heavy investment. And as you see in the graph, Korea is very advanced in fuel cell sector, but in other sector, production, storage, or distribution, you can see lack of patent in the world level. Only fuel cell sector are very advanced in patent, so you can cooperate with Korea for the distribution, production, and storage. You can transfer technology, for example, to Korean company, while the Korean company can provide fuel cell technology to your company, I think. Future on this base, I would like to present future agenda for Korean government and business according to motive of Korea. Concerning green hydrogen production, government are going to establish a large-scale green hydrogen production base with a production capacity of 250,000 tons and cost of, you may not know the Korean one, and through technology development, large-scale demonstration or policy support. And concerning blue hydrogen production, they are going to secure carbon storage technology in line with the CCS commercialization timeline, establishing a blue hydrogen production system with a scale of 750,000 tons in 2030 and 2 million tons in 2050. Through technology development or securing carbon storage technology or construction cluster. You can see detail in the page. And concerning hydrogen import from overseas, I think it is very important for Korea and to you also. Stably securing overseas hydrogen resource through strategic cooperation with high potential hydrogen producing countries, including Chile, Saudi Arabia, or Australia, are very important to, we think. With cooperation with them, you can start overseas production also in 2025, and from them, we think we are going to import hydrogen by 2027. And for this purpose, the government are going to secure overseas resource and preparing a foundation for importing hydrogen and reading global hydrogen market. Very there are many things, but I have to present a single, simple sentence. I'm sorry. And concerning building a closed-knit infrastructure, I think distribution infrastructure is very important too. So the government are establishing hydrogen production and infrastructure in port for hydrogen import. Port is very important in Korea for import hydrogen. They have the plan in 2028 to hydrogen city, in which they will import hydrogen from abroad. And 2030, they are going to construct 9 hydrogen city, and 2040, 14 hydrogen city. And the government are going to establish a hydrogen liquefaction plant for a large amount of clean hydrogen distribution and securing ammonia to hydrogen conversion technology. You understand? Yeah, thank you. And concerning building a close-knit infrastructure to pipeline network is very important too. Korean government are going to expand the construction of hydrogen pipeline network near hydrogen production and receiving area from importation port near the importation port. And concerning hydrogen refueling station, charging in station, in Korea, we already 120 hydrogen charging stations are provided, but it very different between the cities and regions. In Seoul, for example, there are only 4 hydrogen charging stations compared to population, and the car provided very short. So it prohibited expanding of hydrogen vehicle. So we have to consider hydrogen charging infrastructure in order to expand hydrogen electric vehicle. And government too, and the private sector have the plan to increase 2,000 charging station in 2030, 50. And concerning expansion of hydrogen power generation, the government are going to expand deployment of a full cell power generation facility, co-firing ammonia in coal power plant from 2027, and commercializing of hydrogen powered gas turbine are promoved by 2050. Especially ammonia power generation is important, I think. They are going to progressively replacing the coal power plant with 20% ammonia co-firing by 2030 and commercializing 100% ammonia fueled power plant by 2050 through R&D and demonstration led by public company. Concerning hydrogen power generation, which is important also, they are going to commercialize small hydrogen power generation and medium-scale hydrogen power about 2040 and large-scale about 2050. And in Korea, reading the mobility market is very important, as I explained to you already. Securing production safety capacity for all types of FCV and expanding application to various mobility, such as ships, drones, aviation, tram, etc. is very important. Concerning FCEV, we think securing the same level of durability and mileage as internal combustion engine vehicle could be possible by 2030, and so the government are going to establish our private sector are going to establish a mass production system for passenger, commercial, and special equipment vehicle. And concerning vessel or ship, they are going to commercialize ammonia for the vessel by 2026, after 2-3 years later, and liquid hydrogen carrier by 2030, and promoting long-term development of liquid hydrogen for a vessel. And concerning diversification of hydrogen mobility, they are going to develop hydrogen tram, urban aviation technology, and expanding the use of hydrogen drone to mainly on public sector. And in other industry like hydrogen steel making, chemical, cement, etc., they are going to develop technology and some experimental area, etc. And in order to realize this sector, okay, they are going to R&D, human resource standardization, okay. Yeah, and I think finally, I think in Korea it is very difficult because people afraid of hydrogen still because it could provoke, for example, fire or breakdown of a whole city like nuclear power. So they have anxiety. So safety issues is very important too. So the government are going to install safety standard, regulatory rationalization, and etc. I have no enough time, so I will finish this right now. Thank you.
Thank you, President Jung. So now I would like to welcome Mr. Jaewon Lee from Hyundai.
Hello. A big thank you to everyone attended the Hyvolution 2022. I'm Jaewon Lee from Hyundai Motor Company. I'm very honored to be invited to this event on behalf of Hyundai Motor Company and present in front of all of you. Today, I would like to briefly introduce the company's carbon neutral and hydrogen strategy under the theme of Hyundai's hydrogen mobility vision. You already saw Korea government policies and roadmap, so I'll focus on just Hyundai Motor Company. Here's what I'm going to tell you. First, I would like to introduce Hyundai Motor Company and our carbon neutral strategy. Next, current status of Hyundai mobility, hydrogen mobility, left direction of hydrogen utilization. As you know, Hyundai Motor Company is a global manufacturer that sells the vehicle to more than 190 countries worldwide. Now, we are transforming our business with the goal of being carbon neutral by 2045. The 45 carbon neutral strategy consists of three important pillars. The transition to mobility represented by electrification and use of green energy represented by renewable energy, and the transformation of the value chain. It is important, but today, given the limited time, we want to focus on clean mobility. Last year, Hyundai Motor Company launched the Ioniq 5, which has been well received globally. The Ioniq 5 has dramatically improved its performance through a newly designed platform for electric vehicles. It is called eGMP. The Genesis brand GV60 and Kia EV6 also share this platform. In addition, hydrogen buses and electric buses and hydrogen trucks have been launched and in operation. This transition to electric vehicles is part of a carbon neutral strategy. First, Genesis brand's plan to complete the conversion to electrification by 2030. After that, Hyundai plans to complete the electrification in the European Union market by 2035 and in major markets by 2040, like North America, South Korea, mainland China. This will achieve carbon neutrality by 2045. As global interest in carbon neutrality increases, the use of renewable energy and interest in hydrogen are also growing. The hydrogen is considered a very important means of intermittency of renewable energy. In addition to battery electric vehicles, Hyundai plans to expand the supply of hydrogen vehicles to meet the diverse market demands for carbon neutrality in mobility. Especially the electrification of mid to large-sized commercial vehicles will be mainly driven by hydrogen vehicles. Hyundai has supplied about 25,000 hydrogen vehicles by April 2022. A number of Nexo, the world's best-selling hydrogen car, and hydrogen trucks and buses are already in operation in the market. 21,300 Nexos are running in South Korea, and also 3,200 Nexos are in Europe and North America. And city buses are also running on roads along with electric buses, and the scope of their usage is expanding. Total of 170 hydrogen city buses have been distributed in Korea, and we aim to increase the number of 300 by the end of this year. In Switzerland, hydrogen trucks are being demonstrated from 2020. It has already reached 50 units and plans to expand to the total of 200 units by 2022. And in Korea, hydrogen trucks are scheduled to be distributed at the end of this year, mainly on government fields. The number of hydrogen refueling stations in Korea has increased year by year, with a total of 122 currently in operation. There are currently 5 charging stations that can be used with commercial vehicles. To achieve the vision of hydrogen commercial vehicles, Korea is building an additional 53 charging stations for commercial vehicles. Hyundai is also encouraging the establishment of a charging station by participating as a major shareholder of 2 special purpose corporations, SPCs, for the hydrogen charging stations. This increases in hydrogen refueling station is contributing to the creation of an ecosystem, along with the increase in hydrogen vehicles. It is very important to make a virtuous cycle system. Hyundai plans to strengthen the use of hydrogen in accordance with its carbon neutral strategy. In the mobility area, we plan to solidify our strategy centered on hydrogen commercial vehicles and make effort to make our hydrogen fuel cell system a solution that meets various mobility needs like forklift and other construction machines. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. And now I'm calling Mr. Christophe Pierre from Plastic Omnium.
Merci beaucoup. Hello. Thanks a lot. It's very nice having us here on the Korean booth to present what we do in Plastic Omnium. It's really important for us, our activities in Korea, so I'm glad to describe to you what we do. First, introduction of the company. So it's a global company, French-based. with a long history already in Korea. I'll go through that. So we are an automotive supplier, basically, with 8 billion revenues, present in all countries where automotive industry matters. We are a family business, so with a long-term orientation, so important for us to invest in long-lasting technologies. This is basically what we do as a company. So we do all the exterior parts, the conventional tanks for combustion engines, and we also do the front module for the cars. So we are leaders in all these activities, and our goal is to become the leader when it comes to hydrogen storage and fuel cells as well. By 2030, we have an ambition of 3 billion sales. So we are a global company. Actually, our hydrogen roadmap is way more balanced toward Asia. So we are happy to shift in that direction. So as I said, it's a pretty long history. We already have several locations in Korea, so in Seoul, of course, and also in Gyeongju, where we have a plant already, and we are building a second one for our hydrogen activities. What we do now in Korea for Hyundai is actually a storage business. We are going to provide some tanks for hydrogen vehicles. So this is like the description of how the business has grown in Korea. Again, it's a pretty long story. We want to boost it now again, so that we have a new start, a new fresh start in a booming business. It's fascinating to see such a nice momentum for hydrogen in Korea. So definitely we want to be part of it, and we want to contribute to it. So this is what we do in the hydrogen field, basically. So what we start with in Korea is the storage part, really. So you have the reservoirs of the car, so 700 bars. We have a nice technology. We also, together with our German partner, Elring-Klinger, have some stacks, which are excellent products, and for which we are building the full system around the stacks, so that to provide a complete solution to our suppliers. Our customers, sorry. So this is basically our list of products when it comes to storage. So we are working on floor modules. We are working on systems for, of course, cars, but also bus and trucks. And what we bring is a Type 4 technology. So basically a plastic liner around which we go and put some filament winding, so made of carbon fiber. On top of this, what we bring is this fuel cell systems for both light vehicles and heavy-duty vehicles. And of course, our hydrogen roadmap in Korea is very much driven by the Hyundai roadmap, which was just described, and definitely we want to be part of it. So we're really keen on supporting them. This is again the product which we are bringing and which we will manufacture in Korea. So the first step of our investment in Korea is a 30 million investment in the Gyeongju district, where we will actually manufacture a full set to do end-to-end manufacturing of the high-pressure vessels. So this is basically a quick description of the process, and I will have to end there. But basically, it's a blow-molded plastic liner around which we will do some filament winding to, of course, provide the solidity we need for 700 bars. And then it is fully checked and tested before it can be sent out to our customers. This is basically what we do and what we are looking forward to do a lot going forward in Korea. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.